Yo, what's good, everybody? Happy Friday to you. Hope you are all doing well out there, feeling inspired. Hope you brought something for us to listen to. Everybody's favorite day of the week. It's Feedback Friday. All right, let's see who's here. Bustiest Catbot, you were first. And it was your birthday. Like, 1 week ago? Happy birthday. I hope you had a great birthday. You get up to anything good? Go out and enjoy a meal or anything? Also, I hope you like the Foley sounds. ODR, welcome in. Happy Friday to you. Hope you are doing well. Whee! Gotta respect the gazelle. Thank you so much, Wee. I appreciate you. Happy Friday to you. Control 4 official. What's up, player? How you doing? Spliff Gibson. Happy Friday. Happy Friday to you. Hope you're doing well out there. It's not sure. You are here. It is good to see you. Who else is here? Nobody useful. Welcome in, nobody. How you doing, man? Something good. Happy Friday to you. Nate. Nate the Sound Ninja. If you're not following Nate the Sound Ninja and you like incredibly well-made music, this guy. Gotta respect this guy. And you love video games, and you love people that are passionate about video games and music, then follow Nate, because he's great. VWNB, welcome in. Happy Friday to you. Sven Platt, sorry about that. Welcome in. Oh my goodness, who else is here? Ad Rocky, wishing Catbot a happy birthday. Everybody wish Catbot a happy birthday. Wait, I think I have a thing for that. Don't I? Maybe it's just birthday or something. Hey, there's Boke! Somewhere in here, we've got a command. Hey, there it is. There it is. Happy birthday, Catbot. Happy birthday. Everybody who is currently subbed to the channel, go grab your free sounds from the Discord. If you think you're not subbed, check anyway, because our friend Boke Nero gave out a whole bunch of subs a couple weeks ago, and you very well might be subbed without even knowing it. Go grab some sounds. Ooh. Okay, so Catbot saying, I ate at all 3 of my favorite restaurants in one day, and I am now 24 years old. Happy birthday, Catbot. Nate, it's always good to see you. Always good to see you, homie. 39 months. Dude. Appreciate you. Catbot saying, I am also passionate about music and video games. I suck at both. Well, you would fit right in. Go sign up over at Nate's place. All right, let's see here. Boke, 14 months, dude. 14 months. Yeah. Boke Nero is just crushing it lately. I guess this is the place where people come to just level up like mad, right? Whoa, wait, what just happened? Why am I seeing this? Let me just turn this off. I don't think I have any other announcements except for, go grab your free sounds. There is a brand new release over at the Ghost Hack website. It's the Sub Rumbles Volume 2 pack. It is part of the Cinematic Essentials series. And if you have not dipped your toes in the water with those sounds yet, go grab those. You'll find a good use for them. They're rumbly. Very, very rumbly. Oh, Boke sent a new song. Nice. Excellent. We will listen. Lulier, welcome in. Bustiest Catbot, you put a track in public feedback yesterday, but you have a new version now. You can either edit that post and just put the new link in there, or edit that post and tell me to scroll down or whatever. I'll probably remember. Okay, should we jump in? Should we listen to what you guys have made this week? It is Friday, after all. Are you guys missing production streams? I'm kind of missing production streams. Just a little bit. Hey! Trey Tovens here. It's a direct audio file. Just posted a newer version down the list. Excellent. Excellent. Thank you all for the hype train, by the way. I appreciate you guys. There's already a dozen things in the queue within 5 minutes of me arriving. That's great. That's wonderful. Josh, dude, welcome in. Happy Friday to you. Nate saying I'm missing any Ohm streams. You wouldn't believe just how busy I've been. Oh man, I believe it. I've been pulling my hair out busy. I mean, in a good way. In a good way. My kid is on summer break right now, so I'm spending all this extra time with him, which is absolutely fantastic. And then I'm also just trying to make all the stuff happen at the same time. So, and you know what? Remember how I upgraded my computer? Still not streaming with the new computer. I've had the thing for, like a month now. Still waiting for a hub. Still waiting for a hub. It's amazing. It's amazing what uncertainty does. Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like a hub now. Okay. Let's listen to some music, shall we? What's the stop and share thing do? Oh, that's a good question. It's not sure. Appreciate you. Respect the gazelle. That one is, let's see here. There's a little thing we can push to find out here. Stop and share. HomeLab will stop what he's doing and take a moment to talk about and show off one of his most recent releases. This can be music, sounds, sample packs, synth presets, instruments, or tools. Your choosing. That's what that one means. All right, shall we do this? Let's do this. We are going to stop and share something partway through the stream. We've done this before. When cool things are released, we want to kind of shine a spotlight on them. You know, not earning anything from this. This is purely just trying to get awareness on awesome things out there. So our friend Danny will be joining us, also known as Imagine It. You might know his awesome music. You might know his awesome sound packs. Well, he's got a new one. It's just dropped this week. It's over in the brand new X4 Records marketplace, which a lot of people don't even know about yet. It's really awesome. It's a really good thing. It's some Liquid D&B, 30 really choice presets. We'll take a listen and we'll twist some knobs and then we'll ask him some questions and he'll help give feedback on some tracks too. So that's our plan. That's our plan for the stream. So, you know what? I always say Imaginate as well. And Danny has always said Imagine It. It's just the way that he pronounces it. So I've tried my best to steer my pronunciation in that direction over the years. It's funny, isn't it? What our tongues do to us. All right. Shall we dig in? I feel like just out of respect for all the freaking subs that flew around last time he was in here, we should probably let Boke be heard first here, and then we'll just jump right into the queue. Oh, man. Don't you love it when you have a scratch on your back and you can actually reach it? Yeah, that's nice. All right, so let me just let me move this off my screen for just a second. Oh, you know what, Boke? I actually don't see, unless... Oh, okay, it is here. Okay, I got you. All right, so we got a new one from Boke, also known as Ardlap, when making music. So, oh, it's this one. Okay. All right, you guys ready? Shall we? This is the newest from our lab. Let's listen. Art Lab, Boke, this is fantastic. This is absolutely a no feedback track. There's nothing I can contribute to this one except for I'm a fan. I freaking love this thing. I think it's super tight. Yeah, it feels like every last little detail is in the right spot to me, anyway. So, anybody in the chat? I think this is our no feedback track right out the gate. Oh, Danny's here right now. Hey, we were just talking about you. We were just talking about you in the chat. I was just saying, hey, you know, Nate was actually at Puremind at the same exact time as Danny. It's true. It's true. There's actually several people that pop in that are still active in the community that pop in on Fridays, typically. That were in those same couple of years down there in the Bay. You just exported it straight up and sent it. Well, it's freaking fantastic. Just bounce it, man. Just, that's it. Upload that thing elsewhere. It's good. Put some art on it. It's freaking fantastic. We're clicking into public feedback here. Oh, man. Yeah. Okay. We've got, it looks like 20 or so in the queue here. We're just getting started. Danny just walked in the door. I just told everybody, Danny, about the new pack and that we will be checking it out later. We have not clicked on any links or anything yet. Folks saying, you have no idea how long it took me to get that breakdown perfect. It's like all the blood, sweat, and tears that we never, ever see. We just appreciate the wiggles. The perfect wiggles. Right? Yeah. Ooh, Nate said, that honestly reminds me of a Knuckles level in Sonic Adventure 2, specifically Death Chamber or Meteor Herd. Yeah, the Pure Days were so fun. And it's funny because there are, gosh, I don't know, probably a good like 6 or 8 folks that show up regularly that were all in either the same class or just adjacent to one another in the cycles, in the school year cycles. And you may just not realize who each other are because of handles. So maybe I should start calling you guys out more. Okay, so Danny says he's ready to roll. I'm going to fire up Zoom really quick so he can jump in right from the beginning. Hey, look at that. I'm already ready. Look at that. Okay, so I'm going to put this here. And then I'm going to send a little link. Danny, you can join when ready. And I will resize this window. Okay. AD, I don't know if you're in here right now, but I see your post from a few days ago saying, just wondering if this is a good song, but I don't see a link, so send me a link. Nobody. It is you. Hey, and it's Danny.
Howdy.
How you doing?
Good, man.
It's good to see you.
I gotta mute the clone on Twitch.
Yeah, do that.
There we go.
Speaker. There we go. How are you?
Good, man. Got my coffee, got my links, and having a good Friday so far. How about yourself? How's everyone doing?
I'm doing all right. I've been rocking these really tall iced coffees that I've been making myself.
Dude.
Well, it's hot, and
Yeah.
it's my second one, so hopefully that translates to decent feedback.
Here's what I got.
Hmm.
I'm with you, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you can see it. I got a iced coffee too. This is an espresso.
Hmm.
It is the Malozio coffee, and I put hazelnut sprouts creamer in it. That's it. Very
Hey,
good.
how about that? I've got
And I shake it too.
mine is almond milk. I
Nice.
stir vigorously. I don't shake it. I just stir vigorously because there's no lid on my glass. So if I shook it,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, that's the whole thing. You got to have a lid.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. I mean, if you're gonna shake it,
That's right.
yeah.
I'm a real James Bond-esque kind of individual when it comes to coffee. I like it shaken.
You do not stir. You do not stir your coffee. Man.
No, not unless it's hot. I like hot stirred coffee.
Well, I mean, if
But
it's
now we're
hot.
getting into the weeds.
I thought you were supposed to drop it if it's hot. I'm just
Drop
confused.
it like it's hot.
Oh, if like it's hot. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Man, there's so many freaking things. Okay.
God, I know all these nuances, man. It's hard to keep up, isn't it?
Not really. Not really. It's not that hard.
No.
It's not that
No,
hard.
when you're from the Bay Area, it's just second nature.
I'm not from the Bay Area, but you can be.
You are.
I mean, I was there for a minute.
Yeah, you're there for a minute, so you're one of us.
Oh man, is that how that works?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm as someone born and raised in the Bay Area, I'm officially donning you as a Bay Area-ite.
Whoa.
A Bay Arian.
I heard a night.
Oh,
I
wait,
heard
that sounds
night
terrible.
in there.
Bay Area night. Yeah.
Dang. That just made me sit a little bit more upright.
Oh, yeah. Here, imagine this chapstick
Is
is
the
a
sword?
sword.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
there you
thank you.
go.
Thank you. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Whoosh. The fanfare. There's fanfare.
Yeah. What's up, Nate? Dude, I want to just like shout out Nate and yeah, I think we're Facebook friends and I see some of the stuff that you're doing, man, and a lot of game audio and all that. It's really cool to watch. A lot of cool projects you're working on. Um, yeah, dude, it'd be cool to link up sometime for sure. And that, yeah, that drive in traffic between
Oh,
Sonoma County and San Francisco, bro, it is so brutal. I know what you. I had to do that one time. I drove from Rohnert Park, SSU, Sonoma State University, to Belmont for. I used to work at a cat hotel, and before you guys get any wrong ideas, that was like a cat boarding place.
is that like by
So
the hour? Is it that kind of place? Or
right, it's funny. The mind goes directly to that, dude,
well,
and
cat house? Yeah, yeah, sure.
well, it certainly felt like the work that we were doing there was specialist work. I'll tell you that much. I should have gotten paid way more for what we were doing. But
You got the
anyway,
scars.
I got this. No, I really do. I had the scars to prove. I have one. I don't know if you guys can see it. I have one on my wrist and one on my bicep. Did battle. Anyway, yeah. Anyway,
Anywho, all right.
so how would you like to do this, Chris?
I'm gonna hit play.
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah. Okay. Nobody. You are first. This one's called "I Wasn't Supposed to Be Here," and then we're gonna get into Danny's new pack here at some point. He's got a brand new release. We're gonna check it out. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. Okay, here we go. Dark ambient. All right, nobody. I love this. I love it. I love the simplicity of it. I do wish there was just a little bit more like exploratory dimension to the base itself because so much of this is relying on the base and nothing else. Um, so yeah, just to kind of further exploit the timbre and texture by modulating the detune parameter. in the voicing, and perhaps some wavetable modulation too. If you're using a wavetable synth, that would be really nice. Also, the attack and the release, and maybe the decay too, if there is a sustain difference there. I think they can all be extended just a little bit and make the transition between notes just a little bit easier. It kind of pulls me right out of the trance when you're moving from one note to the next. So soften that a little bit. And then I think this is a nice, simple, droney, dark ambient piece. Danny, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I heard of some of the Nobody stuff from the previous stream that I was on, and I was like expecting something similar to that like this, and it was just very pleasing that way. I liked it a lot. I think the two things I'd like to hear more of are some like siren call-esque kind of synths.
Mm,
So like little like literally just like an ambient guitar, not like super plucky, super bright, something kind of damp that just swells over time. That'd be cool. And you could do that with a synth as well, right? Like just apply an amp to a sawtooth and then like
mm-hmm.
drown it in reverb.
So
Um,
distortion swell.
yeah, exactly. That'd be
Mm-hmm.
that'd be really tasteful, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Not all the way throughout, but then also some foley and ambience just to give it a little bit more scenery because like it feels like it just wants a little bit of identifiable character, and it doesn't have to be anything that's real world. It can be like really anything at all, but just something that gives it like, oh, that's that's where I am in this like sonic in the soundscape that's been created basically.
Yeah, yeah, I feel that. I was just going to pull up a little something here. As Danny was saying that, it made me realize that um, your stuff would do so well, like you as a creator would do so well to have a good deal of feedback in your work. Like I can totally hear, like just in my mind's ear, I'm kind of going back through several of the pieces that you've submitted. I'm thinking, man, if there was subtle feedback work in this thing, it would elevate this. It would bring it its own kind of signature almost. But I'm just going to play a couple of just random things. That's not really feedbacky. So yeah, even something like this. Yeah, just tiny little things like that, but at a really, really subtle uh, volume position, right? And stereo position that's fairly, discrete. Um, I'd love that. I would love that for your work in general. Just playing with feedback and finding different ways to make it kind of fold around on itself to kind of create these undulating, kind of emotionally impactful accents and, like Danny was saying, swells. Yeah.
Yeah, just a little bit more like dynamic, I think, emotionally and sonically too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
Feedback's a great idea too. Yeah, like not like a screechy but
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah, it's just so organic. You know what I mean?
for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, funny. Actually, I was helping my grandma fix her laptop mic. I
Mm-hmm.
guess like her Zoom mic was having some issues, and so we did like a mock call, and I was like creating feedback between the mics, just like with my laptop, pushing it in and pulling it away.
Uh-huh.
And I was like getting feedback samples just from destroying our mics. Don't worry, grandma, it's gonna be okay.
Oh man, I love that.
Yeah, it
Don't worry,
just
Grandma.
it was like it sounded good. Like the feedback was like it was like solid and tonal. So anyway, the mics are okay. Nobody's mics are broken. I wouldn't do that. Just so everyone's clear.
You're good. You're good. Your mic is fine.
Yeah.
Sorry, Grandma.
Sorry, Granny.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna scroll down and find this newest post from Catbot. Oh, right here.
Sure.
Okay, saying using vocal chops from another person with permission and tried to make the harsh complextro. Okay. Let's do this. Okay, a little abrupt ending. I didn't get a chance to stop typing, so I should probably just speak this. There's these two melodic elements. They're very similar in frequency and in stereo position, and I think that you should offset them on opposite sides of the stereo field so there can be more of a call and response kind of relationship to them. I think that would bring a ton more kind of open dimension to this thing. Second time Complextro has come up, by the way, in feedback streams in the last month, which is great. Okay, so pumping from the sidechain compression is dampening the impact of the arrangement, I think. So offsetting the parameters, the compression parameters across all the different elements being ducked, setting them all up individually and not running just one compressor to duck everything in tandem. That'll make all of that more organic and allow you to back off the depth of the most important elements in your mix. So we're not biting into those quite as much as you're biting into everything else. And then that variability in that ducking depth overall across your music is going to feel way more immersive, if you will, or the ability to find depth is going to be much easier because you're just going to have all these different stages of presence. Okay, and then lastly, just back off the downward compression a bit. You can hear that there's just a lot of moments in the song where we're not hearing the actual peaks of each individual sound. And when that happens, it's kind of taking away the energy of the most important and exciting parts of the music, really, because we're not hearing the kind of upper echelon of energy, if you will, the kind of uplifting effervescence and airiness that exists up there. So anyway, back off the downward compression a bit and remove your heavy low end elements from that compression chain because your compressor doesn't understand what is going through it. It doesn't know what you're working on or what it sounds like at all. Has no knowledge of that. It just understands signal strength. And those low end frequencies are really booming. And each time they peak, it clamps down on everything in the mix. So remove that. It'll open up everything in your mix. Yeah, I think those are my main points of feedback on this one. Danny, how about you?
Yeah, the big things that were pointing out to me, it's funny, one of the things did happen towards the end of the track, and that was that halftime section. But I would have liked that halftime section to happen a little bit sooner with the melodic stuff. Like, I get the context because you want to have that, like, dubstep bass music drop and have all the cool basses and things happening. But I really think that emotionally having that halftime section with the melodic stuff would add a different context to the melodic section. Um, it's personal taste, definitely take it with a grain of salt, or however you'd like to apply it. But personally, I find that it would just add way more intensity
Mm,
to that portion of the drop, which is melodically, and emotionally strong, right? So I would
yeah.
capitalize on that. I would bring down the production intensity before the first drop just to make room dynamically for that production explosion. Because when the buildup happens, I think around 30 seconds, I'm like waiting for the drums to kick in as if it's the drop, but it isn't because it starts building up into the drop. So I would like, use some softer synths, maybe like filter things in, just again, create some production dynamic so that way that explosion comes across as an explosion.
Hmm.
Another thing, the piano in the beginning, love the chords and everything. Musically, this is a great piece. I like a lot of the musical choices you made. Um, as far as the production goes, though, I would say more organic elements would help this stick out a little bit more. One of those things would be a more organic piano. I think you have it pretty compressed and also fairly fairly ducked in the low end that it starts to sound a little plasticky, and that can happen when you remove low end pretty high up. So I would just try to keep that piano sounding as organic as possible. Yeah, a little less compression and a little less EQ, like rolling off the low end. And then some organic drum layers too, just some shakers and things like that, just to, again, create more of an organic listening experience for the
Hmm.
listener, just
Hmm.
because drums like this can get exhausting. Um, Last thing, really helpful little trick, and kind of like piggybacking off of what Chris said. I when I'm working with tracks that are really dense, like this one, or have a lot going on, and I want to achieve loudness, one thing that I do is I use two gain controls on the master. I use one to set the overall level, and it's usually like -1, -2, just depending on uh, how it works for the track. Really, I use a gain control, like I said, to set the entire level of the track, and then I use another one where I implement subtle gain gain increases for certain moments. So like for the intro, keep it 0. For the verse, maybe a little bit louder, like literally 0.3 additional gain. And then for like the build up or the bar before the drop, I bring it down. Excuse me, I bring it down to either 0 or maybe like -1 or 2, and then just boost it right up to 0.5 or even 1. And what you're doing is you're creating amplitude and gain change without slamming compressors and limiters, um, with a singular level, right? You're creating room for your signal to be loud, but not blow up your compressors and limiters at the same time.
Hmm.
You're artificially making things loud by creating quiet and loud dynamic. That's one of my favorite things to do. I find that really helpful.
Agreed. I do similar things with saturation in the sound design processes.
Yeah.
Kind of warming everything up in tandem in a very similar way, just to kind of increase that harmonic intensity in things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's
yeah.
nothing wrong with plasticky pianos. I mean, like hyperpop, a lot of break beats, a lot of classic break beats and stuff like that, benefits from that style. I think in this track here, I think a more organic piano sound would benefit the palette that it's in.
Word, word. Catbot, that's tasty. It's absolutely worth chasing down and finishing. Some good stuff. Trey is here. Trey Toven. Let me just bring a window from over here. Because I'm signed it over here. All right, let's do this. This is Trey.
Hey, 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 Got that beat on my chest, just lean into my breath tonight. And it starts to wash you down. If you need another chance, I need another chance right now. And the stars don't set sundown. And our heartbeat puts so loud. I said I ain't been a top song. The side's moving out long, and I can't shape up. But I say, God, all this love's wrong. Long as the top low down. Can't be left holding on. Satellite love, but I'm not receiving. Fuck out the strings, but you still not leaving. Shut up for go, cause you know I need it. Message at night, but I'm still gon' read it. Ayy, alright. Got that beat on my chest, just lean into my breath tonight. And it starts to wash you down. If you need another chance, I need another chance right now. You got me gritting my teeth now, I'm clutching my gut. And now I'm focused on real now, you cold as a touch. Cut off, why hate now? Lost in my own clouds. Ay, alright. Got that beat on my chest, just lean into my breath tonight. And it starts to wash you down. If you need another chance, I need another chance right now. Ay.
Yo, Trey, this is so good. I think your vocal work on this one is great, and I think you're leveling up a bit in that department, honestly. I think, personally, I would vary the distortion, like the way in which you're applying the distortion. Right now, it kind of feels like this one even coat, like this. It's kind of like a varnish, right? But there's this cool thing that happens when you layer things together, and there's just a little bit of difference between each layer. Or each element that's being heard together. And all of those subtle differences add up to dimension in a way. And a funny thing happens when you're treating each individual sound versus the whole mix. You find slightly different resting points because of the harmonic information inside of each individual sound. So you're going to be treating each individual sound uniquely. And then we're going to be hearing those individual little bits that shine more brightly in each individual sound across the entirety of the mix, right? And then that all compounds because those new harmonics start to engage with one another in the mix, and they create that timbre umami, that stuff that just doesn't exist prior to that processing taking place. So that's one thing I would say about the distortion. The other thing about the distortion is watch distorting frequencies below 80 hertz or so for maximum clarity in a track like this. Also, it'd be great to set up just this really subtle sidechain compression relationship between the bass and the vocal. So each time the vocal is present, the bass is being ducked just a little bit. And it doesn't have to be necessarily all in the volume. It'd be great to do this with more of like a responsive EQ or a multi-band compression where you're just focusing on just those main frequencies where the vocal track is most present and the bass doesn't need to be, right? And then you don't have to cut the guts out of the bass. It just needs to be a subtle thing, right? Just to let the bass or let the vocal sit up on top of everything, even the bass, throughout the song a bit more consistently. Love all your vocal work on this one, though. Danny, what do you think?
Yeah, dude, that's awesome. I think it's really different and it's refreshing. Like the instrumental for sure. I like I like all the sounds. Very cool stuff, and I like the distortion and all that. I think I would like more ad libs just to kind of give a little bit more life and character to the overall like vocal track. Other than that, though, I like it. And actually, I thought of a plugin that would be really beneficial to what you're talking about with sidechain between like bass and compression.
Hmm.
It's Track Spacer by oh man, who did it? Hang on, let me check my plugins really quick. Track Spacer, yeah, Track Spacer 2.5 has this really incredible ability to pinpoint specific frequencies. It's by Waves Factory.
Mm.
So I don't know, Trey Tovin, if you are the producer also. If you are, yeah, check into that plugin.
Word.
Yeah,
Trey, it's good stuff, man.
yeah.
That's good stuff. Choosing sleep. Whee! This one is Botanica. Yeah, you are welcome, Trey. Hope it all resonates, dude.
Yeah, sure thing.
We saying, hey, I hope this one ain't too mad. Let's listen, shall we? And then let's give a listen to some of the stuff that Danny's been working on too.
Cool.
Ooh. Okay. First, I think this is awesome. I love it. I love the minimal nature of it. You're really forcing us to lean in a pretty big way. I want that Reese when it lands to really, really hit. I would love to hear a difference of even like 8 or 10 dB more when from that initial attack to its resting point, its sustain point, like a significant dynamic difference. And then also, I would love to hear just some really tasteful, very minimal foley transformed to either embolden what you already have for your transition effects or entirely new. And then some of that stuff being used for just general ear candy purposes too, even though they kind of function normally as transition effects. I feel like if you were to incorporate just a little bit of that, probably something metallic, if you were to go into a toolbox and just maybe let a screwdriver scrape across a wrench in kind of a lazy way as you're pulling some stuff out, and if you just happen to have a recording device recording at that moment, you're probably going to take something like that scrape and be able to turn it into an atmosphere, into a low-end rumble, into a really cool riser, and a whole bunch of other things. And it would bring a certain level of continuity to the track as well if you're using one sound or a couple of very similar, very, very simple sounds in such a way. And really, that's just more lean-in fuel, right? It's just more stuff to make us lean even closer. What do you think, Danny?
Yeah, I think I'd want a little bit more. Like I was expecting like a drum and bass kind of like amen break moment as the amen break was coming in, like leading into something. Yeah, I know that you mentioned the thing doesn't really go anywhere, but yeah, dude, I think it should. I mean, it has that potential for sure. I mean, I don't want to repeat anything that Chris said because what he said is like right on. I feel the same way, especially like Foley. You could even use Foley maybe for like a little bit of rhythmic anchoring, just so that there isn't this sort of experience for the listener trying to figure out where things are at. And I understand that might be the aesthetic, but it doesn't have to be so like on the nose, right? It can be just again some sort of subtle little like here's the two or here's the four or whatever. I know I'm getting kind of like in the weeds, but yeah, I would say some kind of rhythmic interest is just to anchor things, and definitely take it somewhere, man. It's got a lot of potential. It reminds me a lot of, I mean, not to riff on like oh you sound like so and so because trust me, I can understand that. It's sometimes not fun to hear or whatever, but it's it definitely has that Coan sound. And if you haven't heard them, I'd be very surprised if you haven't. But if you haven't, I would say, yeah, listen to kind of like some of the stuff that they do and draw inspiration from that. That can be really helpful. So, oh, a D&B version, but scrapped it. Dude, I'd be curious to hear it.
I
Yeah,
would
I
too.
think you should
Yeah.
take this full on, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with what Danny's saying. I do really appreciate the Cohen sound reference or mention. And I think that you could easily kind of traipse between like a D&B and trip hop kind of thing in this. I think you have something here that is kind of open to whatever your next step, like personal production style, signature style. I mean, this is all very, very open. I think it's really about whatever you're adding next, and whatever you carve away, if anything, how you go about doing it once you've added this other thing. But I do think that you have kind of a pliable, not like a blank slate, but you have a really cool opportunity, I guess, to kind of blend and kind of morph between these different styles, and it would work seamlessly with all the sound design and everything. So, yeah. Oh, Danny, you've just refreshed.
Yeah.
You've refreshed.
That's right. I've come out of the ground. I've sprouted.
Nice.
It's just brighter. I like it better.
Oh man.
And very fruitager arrow.
We are going to check out something that's just dropped in the new marketplace over at X4 Records. Danny's released something new. And I really want to get into this with you. I'm going to run and hit the bathroom really quick because I've had extra coffee this morning. And I don't want to cut us off once we get going. So I'm going to put on some background music really quick. I'm going to go hit the bathroom and I'll be right back. And then we're going to jump into this thing.
I'm going to grab water. I will be right back too.
All right, cool. Refresh. You guys enjoy a little cinematic tension. And we'll be back in just a sec. All right, I'm back. Let's see if Danny's back too. Not quite, but we are going to start checking this thing out. Hey, thank you, Wee. Josh, let me check the queue. ODR is actually up next, then WNB. And then Nate.
All right.
You're a few more down the list here, Josh. Welcome back, Danny.
Thank you. I milked the water from my fridge.
Nice. That sounds like a precarious task.
Yeah. I don't know why I said that. It's just funny. I don't know. This is what coffee does to me. It makes me weird.
It like ramps you up.
Amplifies the weirdness.
Yeah, it ramps you up in such a way that you feel like you need to fill all of the space with syllables.
Oh,
And
God,
then
I know.
after the syllables rush out, you're like, what did I just say?
Yeah, it's like, wait, what just happened? It's time for a nap. Why do I feel like I'm existing outside of my body? It's real.
But then also create something, because why not ride this wave?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yes. All right, so I'm going to hit play on the demo track for this new pack called Motion, made by you.
Yes.
Now, before I do that, set it up for us. Tell us about this thing.
Yeah, so this is a collaboration with X for Records and Forma Sound. If you guys are not familiar, X for Records is the company behind Serum, now Serum 2, LFO Tool, and a bunch of other great plugins. One of my favorites is Nerve, probably the best drum sampler ever. I'd love to see an update for it, Steve. Anyway,
Please.
so
Hi, Steve.
Motion is 30 liquid drum and bass presets, designed for Serum 2 and designed for liquid drum and bass production. But as always, if you know my designs and the way I go about things, it is designed with flexibility in mind. So it certainly works for things outside of Liquid D&B.
Word.
Yeah. It was cool, actually. I need to make sure that I can say certain things. But one of the guys over at Xfer and I were just chatting a little bit, and we just got to thinking that'd be cool to do like a Serum 2 preset pack and just see what happens. And yeah, it's been a fun project just to kind of experiment outside of my usual doings. And this is the result. So yeah, hope you guys like it.
All right. Well then. Thank you for the intro. Here is what it sounds like. So I've got the pack. You sent me the pack earlier, and I've got
Yes.
volume. I can turn up volume because that's helpful. There's one thing about this that I'm just going to get out of the way right away, because I was like, dang it, are you serious? That sucks. As soon as I open this pack. So I just want to get out the negative first.
Okay.
Okay. So there's only 30 presets in here. I mean, they're really, really good, but there's only 30. And I was like, I wanted like 300. So there's
Right on.
there's the negative part right there. I know you're like, oh shit, what is he
Oh, here
gonna
we go.
say?
Yeah.
Oh
You know
no.
that 2K was a little gnarly.
Why did you choose that noise?
Yeah, that's right.
Uh,
Well, if I may,
yes,
this
please.
is about motion, but
Yeah.
if you guys like what you hear here, I have another Liquid D&B preset pack
Oh.
on the Extra Store.
Oh,
It's called Air. I'll drop the link in here.
There
So
we
if
go.
you like what you hear today and you like motion, pick this up too. This is going to be a great addition.
okay. So you're saying that I can have more.
You can have more, and good news, there's more I'm working on too. So stay tuned.
Okay, good. So now I'm not quite as upset.
No, this is a taster.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, that's great. Okay, so there are 30 sounds in here. I feel like maybe we should just kind of start at the top and work our way down. There's atmospheres, bass, effects, keys, strings, and synths in here. And in the synths, there's a couple of ARPs, a few leads, some pads, and plucks. So it's a pretty holistic collection. The FX is a riser. Got a handful of really sweet basses here. I'm going to play a couple of these atmospheres. Let these guys get a little taste of this. And then we're going to duck back to this a couple of more times between feedback tracks and just kind of vibe on this for a bit. I think, personally, a couple of my favorite things about this pack are actually the atmospheres.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, that's like such an important part of Liquid D&B, right? And the cool thing about Serum 2 is, as you guys know, I mean, there's a lot more going on than previously in Serum 1. And one of those big things is, well, certainly the multi-sampler and granular, and the spectral, of course, the spectral oscillators. But with the granular oscillators in particular, it's really easy to get that, well, that granular atmosphere sound, which I think is probably about 90% of the use of granular.
Yeah.
But it's so it makes designing these atmospheres very simple, but you get really high quality results too. It's not like the quality is at the expense of simplicity.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Some lovely crystalline timbres here, man.
Cool. Yeah. I wanted kind of one of the aesthetics I was going for was Fruitager Arrow, which is like that 2010s like visual aesthetic. So very airy, liquid, crystalline. Yeah.
Hey, less than perfect. Thank you so much for the raid. I didn't even hear when you guys came in. How was your stream? Always good to see you, homie. We are currently checking out a brand new Serum 2 pack from Danny, Imagine It.
Yo.
Some lovely stuff. We were just playing around with the very first atmosphere in the pack when you guys rolled in. So I appreciate you guys coming. What'd you guys get up to today? Hope you've been well.
Later, Nate. Yeah, we'll have to link up, man.
Nate, yeah, dude, we will catch up. Absolutely. I'm going to play this other atmosphere here.
The crystalline sounds like Spyro the Dragon. That's great. I love Spyro. I played that so much as a kid.
Oh, man. That's lovely, Danny.
Thank you, man. I'm glad you enjoy it.
I think there's a couple of things I've noticed just because I've been I don't know how else to say it, critiquing your work, I guess, forever.
Sure.
From the beginning.
Sure.
And I would just like to point out that there's a lot of subtlety in this pack. There's a lot of just real intention. Like I can look at this, at all of your programming, and I can see all of your intention behind these things. And it just makes me so happy. It just makes me so flippin' happy to see, like, you are creating these patches for people kind of with guardrails in place. They can twist these knobs with wild abandon, and they're never going to take it to a place that is not good or relevant or useful. It's good stuff, but then also there's just an organic quality to these things that not that it wasn't there in any of your other stuff. It just feels like more honed than ever before in this pack.
Oh, great, man. I'm really happy to hear that. I'd be curious to hear like what subtleties you noticed.
Yeah, so a lot of it has to do with the depth of operation with modulators. We'll have to take a look at some of these assignments here in the next little segment, but there's some assignments in here where, also, and your macros affecting the shapes of the envelopes in really helpful ways, or the LFOs rather. I think there's just like a lot of tasteful, nuanced attention to relevance, really, and usefulness, which is just so nice. It's just so nice.
Cool. Yeah. No, it's great to hear, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny because I wouldn't know how to express it other than like one of the things that I noticed with making this sample pack, or excuse me, this preset pack in particular, was psychologically you go into Serum 2 knowing that it can do more, and it just feels like more, how do I say it? It feels like it wants you to do more.
Yeah, of course.
And you don't have to like search for doing more. It's just kind of there.
Mm-hmm.
One of the big things is, and this is going to be a total Serum 2 glazing moment, is the fact that you have the chaos LFOs.
Yeah.
That applied in certain places is so unbelievably powerful to get that like dynamic over time.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that I like a lot about it. And you see that all over this preset pack and some of the others that I'll be putting out.
Yeah. Yeah. There'll be some stuff that kind of comes out of stealth from me here at some point, but I will say that I love the new voicing control.
Yeah.
Oh,
right.
man. Not having to expend half of my modulators on baking in nuanced analog programming, right? Like subtle pan variation and volume variation and stuff. Like those assignments don't need to be made anymore, which is just, that's a lovely thing.
It's brilliant.
Thank you, Steve.
There's just one LFO for it all.
It's just flipping great.
It's
just great.
Yeah, I think just like doing it for the, I've been doing this for several years, I suppose, but doing it professionally for only a few, and doing nothing but really like programming samples and synth presets. It's like you kind of start to think about real world behavior of sounds.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I want. It's definitely what I wanted to achieve in this and going forward. So
kind of a physical modeling mindset.
Yeah.
What are the cause and effect?
Yeah,
I agree. Yeah. I think that well, there's so many things I want to talk about in regards to Serum 2, but we don't need to take away all the time from feedback doing that.
Yeah, this is for you guys.
I'm going to click back over to Discord, and we're going to listen to a few tracks, and then we're going to come back. We're going to play around with this thing some more.
Yeah, let's do it.
I really like what I'm hearing so far, Danny. It's really good stuff.
Thank you.
ODR, this is you. This is TB03 Mania, work in progress. Oh, okay. So this one felt like you had knobs between your fingers and you were recording live action. That's what this one felt like. the very first, I don't think the luffs were loud in general on this. On that first note, when it first starts, it felt a little abrupt and loud. Felt a little bit more so than the rest, perhaps even. Really great energy, just all the way around. Really great energy. Felt really organic, and playful. Like it felt like you were moving around in the room while you were doing this. It's kind of like smiling on a telephone. You can tell. You can tell if someone was just pointing and clicking or if they were actually vibing. You know what I mean? I kind of want a top line element in here. Nothing like super melodic and leading, but something else to follow in the mid-range besides the dialogue samples. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but there is a bit of continuity to it. And I think it would help kind of guide us through this journey. It could actually also just be additional dialogue. It could be kind of a long-running theme that starts to develop over time, just a couple or a few words at a time. You know what I mean? Like taking a longer contiguous dialogue recording, like say a little moment from the Matrix or whatever, and then you start to chop that up into little moments. But as you listen to the entirety of the song, the entire moment is disclosed. Something like that could also work. So it doesn't have to necessarily be like a musical instrument. Just something else to follow, I think would be fun. That way you can stay super playful on the bass and it still feels like it's actually going somewhere and progressing at the same time. And on that note, I think dialogue up just a little bit to help it sit up on top of the mix just a little bit. A couple of things in the volume mix and EQ that can help. I think if you use a subtle shelf from 60 hertz down on the bass and remove 4 to 6 dB or so, this will reduce the low-end plosive attack we're hearing. It kind of translates as unnecessary thickness in that bass. Also, watch resonance. When you're moving up and down with your filter and you modulate down into those lower frequencies, remember that resonance is just a volume accent. And then that's going to bloat those lowest frequencies, but it's at such a high, like a sharp bandwidth, that it's going to cause this kind of resonant feedback. And you hear just a little bit of that creeping in here and there. Just a thing to say, this is going hard. Really great samples, honestly. Really great samples. It felt like there was a lot of, I guess, honoring the genre in general. I'd wrangle the low end of the dialogue samples and remove a bit more of the low end from their reverb channels as well to help them lift up a bit more in the mix. Danny, what were you hearing?
Did you just ask me?
I
what
did.
think?
I did, yes.
I was listening back because I was trying to figure out what that top line should be too. Because I agree. I think there needs to be something else, not like a main melody that takes away from the bass groove, because that is the most important part. I was kind of hearing like you have a tonal chordal stab that happens, every 8 bars or so, maybe 4. And I think it'd be really cool if you put like if you use that same sample and then maybe layered it with something else that sounds kind of similar, but you put like a dotted eighth note tape delay on it. That like dun 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 dun, that would be cool because it would like stretch that sound out for a longer period of time and then like kind of fill that space that we're talking about for the top line. That could be kind of cool. Maybe some like filler sounds to go along with like the transition between sections. So like every 8 bars and 16 bars, you can do like I don't know, like maybe like a subtle reese that comes in for like a couple of bars.
Yeah,
or
just
not
a couple
bars, but like a couple of beats. Yeah, that'd be cool. But yeah, man, it's tough because I think this is great, and like American Josh dude said, yeah, this is something that you'd totally vibe to in the club. I mean, and just like groove to, right? This is totally club stuff.
Yeah.
And sometimes less is more in those cases.
Oftentimes.
Yeah.
Oftentimes.
That's right.
Oftentimes.
It was great, dude. Yeah, I like this. This was fun.
Right. The Chaos Siren.
Yeah. Yeah, switch in a respace set. Yeah, that'd be cool. Like not as the main element, but just something to break up the continuous, just the continuity of that 303.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just a little voice swap there for a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Juggle it. Josh, I'm usually right.
Yeah, we better get you on the stream, Josh.
Oh, man. This would be great. Just randomly pulling these guys out of the ethers and just be like, boom, you're on the stream this week. What do you have to say about this?
It's got to be like it's got to be like Eric Andre style.
Oh, God, that'd be so good.
Yeah, yeah. Just like really difficult questions, just hot seat all day.
Right off the street.
Yeah.
Here we go. Here we go.
Sir, what's your hottest take on music? Tell us.
What do you think about the plosive impact around 22 hertz on that bass?
That's right. For $1. Well, that's more. What's that guy? So and so on the street or whatever. Billy on the street. There's
Yeah.
that too. I like Eric Andre better though. He's funny.
Oh, man.
So funny.
So good. Yeah. You know, there's been a lot of folks that have actually pulled off the roaming reporter skit quite well. Yeah. Eric is so good, dude. He's so good. He's so good. Is it just me, or I mean, and this is gonna make me sound incredibly old, but does he have a little bit of Johnny Carson in him?
I don't know enough Johnny Carson.
Oh, dang it! I'm so old.
Have an opinion, but yes, sure.
Yeah.
Johnny
Thanks,
Carson.
man.
He's just crazy. I love it.
Oh man. I think he does. I think he's got just a little dash of like really, really old school in him, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Josh agrees with me, and we just know scientifically that Josh is always correct. So,
yeah.
There we go. There we go.
There you go.
There we go.
By proxy, you are too.
Thank you for building me up.
What can I say?
WMB saying, got this idea of mixing post-trance and Nitsanot sounds, so I teamed up with Astris, the up-and-coming Nitsanot master. This will be a part of an EP with 3 to 4 similarly unhinged collaborations. Ooh.
Cool.
Okay, so it is this one right here. No, Josh, you have not gotten skipped. You are close, though. We got a few more. All right, here's Hex. Oh, I like this art, by the way. It's very simple. Yo, WNB, there's a lot going on in here. Like big gamer vibes, I think. I'd bring the noise down. I think the biggest thing for me that holds this thing back, just because it gets fatiguing really quick, is the white noise. It seems to have a longer decay on it than it probably should as well. And then there's also the reverb that's kind of emboldening it and allowing those frequencies to hang out in the air just a little bit longer. So I think there's a few things that need to happen with that noise. In the synth itself, it needs to come down by probably like 8, 10, maybe even 12 dB. Make it drastic. Make it such a big difference that you might have a problem with it. And then find the ideal spot after that. But I think after you hear it at a greatly reduced rate in the overall mix, that you'll hear the actual arrangement, the composition a little bit better. The individual notes will have greater clarity and presence. Also, I would create more difference between the sounds by way of volume position and stereo position. There's a couple of synths that are very similar in tonal position frequency range, right? In its like vocal character. And I would offset those in the stereo field from one another instead of keeping them in close proximity. And then that way we can tell the difference between them. And once we can tell the difference between the voices, there's just this increased depth that happens in general. And it's easier for us to focus on all these things. 144 in this moment. This bass is cool and it's got a cool voice. It's doing some interesting things. I feel like the bass needs to come up just a little bit in this moment, but also it feels fairly dissociated from the super saws. And the super saws also feel like they've lost a bit of their peaks. So super saws are really hard to work with in general. They're very similar to the wall of sound guitar kind of problem, in that they dominate all of the frequencies all over the place. So when you've got white noise and you've got super saws together, it's going to be pretty hard in general. So bringing down that noise and then reapproaching these super saws without all of the compression, taking down their individual peaks, that will leave a lot more brilliant harmonics and edginess to those sounds in general. And then you can bring down the volume of them and we'll still be able to hear them a little bit better. And that'll work better for you than taking off the peaks and leaving them at a higher level, I think. Lastly, reverb channel down on the synths with the white noise in general. I think we don't need quite as much reverberation. And then make sure that you always EQ your reverb channel. So whenever you have on your auxiliary channel, you've got a reverb plugin, you put an EQ right after it and just kind of wrangle the frequencies that you're allowing back into your mix. Even if you're already using a filter or an EQ built into the reverb, it's good just to see with your own eyes which frequencies are still making it through. And most times you're going to want to cut down a bit more. Danny, what do you think?
Yeah, the brightness was the big thing for me. It's just like I know it's a style, but it's just kind of exhausting to listen to after a certain amount of time. And I think just taming that brightness would be a big help. I think where it fits like aesthetically, certainly in a video game, I'm definitely hearing like somebody mentioned like a side scroller kind of thing. Totally hear that. Super video gamey, which is cool. It also felt a little boomy at times, and I think that's from like the big main like da 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 synths. I don't know if you're hearing the same thing, Chris. I don't know if it's just my headphones or not. It felt boomy at times.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know it's kind of nitpicky, but like it didn't like it wasn't. It felt kind of disconnected from the rest of the mix, the boominess. And yeah, I'd say too the bass that comes in at 144, that like lead kind of bass sound, the tonalities of the bass and the chords and everything else going on kind of clash. And so I felt the same way that you felt about like the disassociation between the two different timbres. Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's kind of it. I wouldn't say there's too much else. Yeah, I know it's supposed to be like this big wall of sound, so
Yeah.
have to be kind of careful with like, oh, make it dynamic and all that. But if you can, go for it.
Yeah, saying that it is hard and that it's a balancing act really doesn't do it justice. I mean, anyone who has tried to mix wall of sound guitars and or wall of sound supersaws knows that it's just hard, especially once you have other elements that are touching a bunch of frequencies in the mix at the same time. It's just so hard.
I think one of the things that help is like with guitars, you're dealing with like physical energy passing through tubes and things, and so you get like that warm analog sound that everyone loves so much. Whereas like with really clinical digital stuff, you're not getting that same experience.
Right.
So wall of sound can be definitely a balancing act between like two very different production aesthetics like this. So if you can try to achieve that same sort of warm thing, saturation, tape stuff, all that can really help. But yeah, it's a little nitpicky, I suppose, but yeah, I would say that would help a lot.
Batch processing for the win.
Yes, absolutely. I particularly like Saturn 2 is great, and the Abbey Roads tape J37 is awesome.
BWMB saying, I love how much you were able to say about such a noisy tune. And it's pretty easy just to talk about the things that we're hearing in general. You know what I mean? I think it helps just to be honest, too, because then we're not dancing around anything. Like, we're just identifying the things that we're hearing. So you're the one making the good music. We have ears. We have ears, even though we cover them up. Nate is here. Nate says, this is a commission within a specific budget, but I'm about 4 to 5 hours away from this instrumental needing to be finished. This is a continuation of the Video Killed the Radio Star series and is called AI Killed the Internet Star. Ooh, I like it. And we'll have computer-style vocals over it. Chorus is tongue-in-cheek and intentionally short, while verses are melancholic, synthwave. Wondering mostly about the mix and transition-related feedback, but honestly, I'm open to all feedback too. Sorry about the unfinished chiptune. Lead in the bridge. That'll also be fixed. All right. Let's listen. This is Nate. Yo, Nanowire's walking in. How you doing, Ben? Happy Friday to you. Hope you're doing well over there. Yet another pure mind person walking in the door. Man, you guys are like flocking today. Ad Rocky saying, this is groovy. Ben saying, this is fantastic. Man. Okay, so here's what I got for you. At 10 seconds to 14 seconds, that first filter down, it'd be cool to hear some saturation being modulated in tandem with the filter going down, because when the filter goes down, it kind of flattens out the moment and it kind of sucks out a little bit of excitement because we're not hearing quite as much of the sound. So it'd be cool if the harmonics were being kind of driven a bit as the filter down is happening, and that way it stays really rich. Maybe even a little bit of movement would occur in there. 48 seconds, some dynamic movement in here would feel really nice. Just warm and subtle pumping. Nothing too overly overt. Just for like to keep this all in context for what you're doing here. 106, this halftime transition feels a bit rough. Probably going to need another sound design element to help bridge the moment. Same thing on the other side, given that it's also affecting the BPM. 151, lead synth up just a little bit. Bass synth down in general, let's say 6 dB or so to start, and then feel it from there. I feel like the volume mix can be kind of flipped in the chorus a bit. It seems like different elements could or should be leading this, and maybe it's just a matter of the bass really kind of driving everything very consistently and me wanting to feel a very different thing when the chorus comes around, or maybe it's just that those more melodic elements are quieter and they should actually be the loudest things in the mix at that point, I think. I think that would also help the transition, because I think that the volume mix, once you do arrive in the chorus, is incorrect. And I think that's probably why it feels just a little bit rough, because things aren't quite in their proper lanes yet. But you'll get it. You'll get it. 306, this lead is really cute and fun, and I also want a little more complexity in the delivery. Nothing too ninja, just one step away from basic on the grid delivery, right? It's almost a little bit too vanilla in the way, or elementary in the way that you are delivering it. It can have just a little bit more swagger, I think. 340, that last transition felt a bit better. So my question to you is, what was different? I would say go in there, take a look at the arrangement. If there's another element, maybe the volume curves are different, whatever it is, take notes and then go back and look at your other transitions and see if you can borrow and apply there to improve on it. Danny, what you got?
Yeah. So the first thing that stood out to me was the crash cymbal. Had a good deal, like the really big one had a good deal of like between 500 and 1K that I think like clouds the track for the time that it's in there. So it's a little loud, first and foremost. And I think that you could dip between those two frequencies, like not super wide from 500 to 1K, but if you just take a little bell, right, and then just a little dip and just kind of sweep through it and find that sweet spot, that would really help. I think the kick volume in the verses especially was a bit loud. I think you could bring it down probably maybe 1.5 dB. That would probably help. And also velocity shape that kick too, I'd say. Like every one of like every 4 bars or so, loud, and then a little less loud on the next like preceding kicks, in like a 4-bar loop. Subtle cutoff automation on the synthwave bass lead would be awesome. It doesn't have to be like big differences in like closed and open. Like you could literally take your modulation wheel on your MIDI keyboard, if that's what you're working with, and ride it as you would ride like a console, a fader, right? So if you just kind of ride it a little bit, and it won't be noticeable like on its or like in the entirety of the mix, but what it'll do is it'll just create a little bit of tonal dynamic, and that can go a long way. It's like it's more perceived than it's heard, right? So I would play with that for sure. Maybe some subtle 80s-esque effect sounds every so often. Yeah, exactly. Like little lasers and, I want to say like power-up sounds or anything like that, but I think some I refrain from saying gamer kind of sounds.
Skate World.
Yeah, like like think like like Flynn from Tron, right, in the video game or the arcade that he goes in, right? Like I feel like some of the sounds from Tron, both the new and old, would be cool inspiration. The short chorus moments are quieter than the verses, so definitely want to make them louder. If like that's what you're going for, of course. But personally, that's what I would do. Since they're choruses, and then less on the grid overall. Chris mentioned it already. There's a lot of grid, like very quantized moments in a lot of things, especially the drums. And I think throwing the drums just a little bit off the grid would help, especially with that snare fill, the ka-ka that happens every so often. Looser on the grid and also on the envelope too, if you can. Like, I don't know if you're working with MIDI or samples. If you're working with MIDI, longer envelope. If you're working with samples, you can artificially create a longer envelope, kind of with reverb. Fading a little bit can help too. Like if you're working in Logic, you can layer samples and have them crossfade. There's ways you can artificially recreate longer envelopes. It's a bit nitpicky, but I'd say if you can open up that snare to be longer for the fills, that'd be cool. It just feels like really static, really rigid, So
Play a little bit in your sampler with something like that, right? You can add a subtle loop and a volume curve at the same time. Like just put that snare sample into Kontakt and open up your wave editor, and you can add a volume curve right there if you want. In addition to your loop region. And then you can adjust your crossfade in that loop region and your release such that it all feels very natural.
That's right.
Thank you, Kontakt. You horribly ugly and obscenely, ridiculously clunky beast. You.
Yeah, I love Kontakt, but quick sampler in Logic. That's a great envelope.
Yeah. If only everything could have the flexibility of the envelope engine of Absinthe, but have an updated feel and look of, like, I don't know, something that was made in the year 2025.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know what they're thinking. They have still not updated Kontakt in the way that we want them to on the back end.
That's right. That's all we want.
That's all we want. It's all we
Give
wanted
us
for
the
so
people
long.
what we want.
Don't make us riot in the streets. Oh, man.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, though. I don't know if you've kept up with what Trolls has been doing for the past few years, but Sound Paint is... I'm starting to get these funny little butterflies in my gut each time he talks about an update. I think they might be the blue sky of sampled instruments in the very, very near future. Like, I think very near future. And I think a lot of people are going to feel like they just came out of nowhere, like they came out of stealth or something, but they haven't. And anybody who has been a fan of, like, all the way back from, like, Tonehammer days and following through all the years and watching the Trolls just work his magic in general, I think it's not going to be shocking at all. But for everyone else in the world, it's just going to be like, where did these guys even come from? But I'll tell you what, having really clear and forward-facing modulation, assignment elements, and access to parameters and stuff easily found and accessed the same way that they are in synthesizers. Like, that is the expectation, period. End of story, end of conversation. And Kontakt has not gotten there. It just has not. It just has not.
Yeah. I'm listening to Sound Paint stuff right now, and that doo-doo sounds incredible, dude.
Yeah, but I think that, when you look at where Omnisphere went from being like the Rompler to what it is now, and you look at what Steve has done with Serum and flipped it into an entirely different thing with Serum 2, obviously he sees the same very, very, like, obvious thing in the room right now, and that is the super synths are failing people. And the super samplers are failing people. And Trolls sees the same thing. And I think that these guys are like, hey, we could overtake, like, we could jump in right now in this moment, and we could become the new dominant, sampler and super synth. And I think that's exactly what they're going to do.
Yeah,
That's great.
yeah. I mean, it's funny because the I feel like the bubble has burst for sure.
Mm.
Like in the sample space, and like the digital audio tools space, in a lot of different ways.
Mm.
Not even just with like sampler instruments, but like how we have access to samples and the samples themselves and
What we can do with
synth
them.
presets,
Yeah.
what we can do with them. Yeah, I mean, it's just like, yeah, it's a whole new experience, and it's refreshing, honestly.
Yeah, yeah. I think all we really need at this point is a generational sea change. You know what I mean? Like a changing of the guards, so to speak. Just like
Yeah.
needs to happen in every industry way more often than it does. But I think that's predominantly what needs to happen in this moment right now, and I hope that it does, because rock and roll has always saved us in these moments in music, and younger people need to come along and just show us what to do now that we are in this new era of we have all the sounds and we have all of the ways in which you can make the sounds wiggle.
Yeah.
Like, where does it go? Where does it go from here? Because the existing generations that have been making music for a long time we're all gonna continue to approach it in very similar ways that we always have. So we're not going to move the needle very much. But dang, we can make all the sounds for these kids at this point. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Well, you're still young, so
Thank
you've
you.
got that. Yeah, you've got that.
I mean, I certainly like certain elements of, the good old days, right? Or like classic things. And I think there's a hybrid. I think there's a way to hybridize both, to be honest.
Oh yeah.
Because I see a lot of new stuff that does come out, and in my humble opinion, a lot of it's very useless.
Mhm.
Whereas, like, there's still older things that I go towards that are awesome,
Mhm.
and still awesome. But if like somebody were to remix it in a way that was their own, and it wasn't, like for the sake of doing the remix, but doing it just as a new way of doing it, I think that'd be really, really cool. So like seeing hybrid things like that come out is cool.
Word.
Like this, like sound like this is awesome. So
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I totally agree.
sound paint and Serum 2, of course, too.
Yeah.
So
Speaking of Serum 2, we should check out a little bit more of your pack. I was wondering if you want to show off a little bit some of your
Sure.
sounds. You want to drive for a minute?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I'll let you take over the screen.
Okay, let's see if this works here. I tested it a minute ago. Let's see. Okay, how's this?
It's looking good.
Okay, let me play a sound.
I am not hearing that, though. Did you remember to share your audio?
I did not remember to share my
There you go.
Okay, let's see. Share sound. Aha, that's right. Okay. Now, can you hear that?
Nope. Still no.
No.
Is it set as the output in Logic?
Scarlet to it doesn't need to be the zoom.
It needs to be it needs to be Zoom.
Okay. Okay, so we got to update all the
I know. I don't like that we're scanning everything every time now.
Yeah.
It is the worst. It's just so bad.
Here we go. Let me expand this here too. Oh boy. Anyway, guys, so seen any good movies lately?
Yeah, right. Well, hey, you know what? While that loads, while your audio loads. Oh, it's loaded.
There it
There
is.
you go. Yeah.
So, let's see. Let me get the chat open too, because I'd be curious to hear or see if there's anything that you guys in particular would like me to review more than anything else. So I'm just going to run through this, but do speak up if there's something you'd like me to
Word.
to showcase a little bit more of. So the cool thing about Serum, I want to point this out, is you can import sample packs now preset packs as preset packs.
Super
You don't have
dope.
to go. Yeah. It literally, like, when you download Motion, thank you very much for buying and your support. When you get Motion, you can load it into Serum, literally drag and drop the file into Serum, and it will import the preset pack for you, and you can access it here next to this preset selection window next to the menu option. and your presets are going to be on the side here, which is just awesome. So packs, that's our presets. I got a bunch of different ones here. We'll go to mine, and we'll go to motion. So we click on motion, and what's great is we have all the presets right here available to us. We don't have to dig through folders and all that. Anyway, all that stuff aside, here's one of the ARPs. So yeah, just kind of a cool, classic little ARP sound. Going into the ARP, I changed the pattern to converge, so like it kind of goes between it doesn't just go up or down, right? It bounces between higher and lower notes. Yeah, so this one has a bunch of different things going on. Sample, multi-sample, wavetable, just to get a nice blend of that synth wavetable sound, but with the artifacty pitch inconsistency of sample, and then multi-sample just for a little extra flavor. So if I turn all these oscillators off except for multi-sample, cool little Cora.
Yeah, I like that.
And then with the synth. And if I turn off the Cora, you can tell that subtle little bit of Cora is adding a little bit more organic quality to the overall sound.
Yeah, I like that lift.
So cool. Yeah. So like one of the big nuances throughout this entire preset pack is in a couple of things. One of those things is the velocity modulation. So as you can see here, I have it affecting like the oscillator A, B, and C levels, the noise level, filter stuff, all of that. And that's all very purposeful. So that way, like if I press quietly on this G sharp here or A flat, and then increase the velocity, it responds to that. And I think that goes a long way in not just like the dynamics of the song or whatever your piece you're writing, but it goes along with how you are performing it, right? So
absolutely, because it's by the note.
Yeah, it feels more playable than just like a static sound.
So much more performative, yeah.
Yeah, so anyway, there's a couple other things too. Extra rhythm. So this is an extra filter. Just giving a little extra something,
Mm-hmm.
And then some timbre stuff, little whistle. Oh wait, that's the sample, duh. So kind of cool. And then colorize is something that I like to do pretty frequently. I use IRs for this in particular. So for example, you can hear the subtle differences in the timbre over time.
Yeah, I love that.
So that's one of the ARPs. That's probably my favorite one. Sarin is cool too. Just want to get as organic of a sound as possible with these, especially because Liquid D&B, is famous for like actual instrument performances,
mm-hmm.
and then resampling things as well too. Here's the Chaos Lorenz affecting, I think, the overall pitch or the noise pitch, and then there's another one that's affecting, I think, just like oscillator pitch and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Velocity stuff as well. Anyways, yeah, we already took a look at the Atmos, so I'll avoid that. Here's one of the basses. Just that classic kind of like subtle sound. And, when you play higher up on the notes, first of all, we have some portamento happening. So it slides up to the note. And then when you slide up to the note, the LFO responds.
Yeah, that's nice.
It's just so addictive, right? Here's an example.
Super responsive.
Song, right?
Yeah.
So this is the... Yeah, so just taking a look at like this bass in particular, I have a nice blend of both creative and mixing macros. So add saw grit, widen, moss, heat, all that stuff. That's more on the creative side. But I also have like brighten and demud. And demud is one of my favorite things. Just a really easy way to, reduce boxiness and create that curve. It's all right there. It's great because one of the things about Serum 2 is now that you have 8 macros, you can have, like an even amount of creative stuff and mix capable stuff. So meaning you have to do a lot less mixing outside of it. Anyway, let's take a look at
lots of nuanced stuff there. Like I was noticing the triangle wave. You've kind of softened the curve on the back end of it, so it's not quite perfect. You've also got a really, really subtle modulator set up in here. Just lots of really, really good, very intentional programming. Like I was saying before, it's good, man.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Let's see. What else can we take a look at? Is there anything in particular that you'd like to see, Chris?
Play one of the keys.
Sure. So a good variety of keys. This is Aether piano. This is just like a classic piano sound. And I wanted to give it, I guess, as organic of a sound as possible. I believe this little piece right here is just for a little click. So this wavetable piece,
super tiny,
providing a little bit of extra tiny click, just to give some more transient. Heavy comp because we want big, heavy compressed pianos, and then brighten, dimension, warm up, gigantic verb, just to give,
which is quite lovely, by the way.
Huge sound.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's great for big atmospheric liquid D&B production. Here's another one.
Lovely.
Nice and cute.
Yep. Lovely.
Okay, let's check out another one. So this is like a blend of an E piano and like a chime box kind of thing that I wanted to go for. And you can bring up the octaves as well on a couple of the oscillators, just to give more tonal dynamic. And Black Mirror, this is one of my favorite macros. What I've been doing is I've been creating a series of macros that I kind of reapply in different places. It's kind of like an Easter egg.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's one thing that you're going to get with a lot of my presets are little Easter eggs, especially in the more recent stuff. So Black Mirror. You hear all that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's like feedback happening, and it stays too, which is cool. It's got a long tail, and that's just to give some darkness to the sound. And that was all done in the mix here. So we have some bus processing happening. If we go to the effects, we have the main effects and then bus one. Bus one has everything going on. So yeah, just a nice variety of different things. Yeah, that's one of my favorite ones. I like that preset a lot. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, man. These are lovely sounds. They really are. I love the organic appeal of all of them. It's great stuff.
Here's another one. So a little bit synthier. But still has that organic sound. And then just adding extra elements too. So we have like a clavinet, a high flute, and a flute flutter distortion. And I love that.
Oh yeah, sounded nice and tasty.
And then with.
Yeah.
And then, of course, with most of these presets, I have Sawify, which is just a way to synthesize or make the sound a little bit more synthetic in sound. So if we take away clav, distort, and the flute stuff. And then with. You can hear how it has a sawtooth quality to it. and just more tonal variation, more timbral variation. That is one of my favorite things to do, is to not just have like a sawtooth or like a square, but like there's tonal variation that you get to play with, but it all feels very intuitive to the sound that it's a part of. The instrument, the classified instrument, you could say. And then, of course, we have some strings. And this is like a callback to those sampled, distorted kind of like disco, like single note strings. This is a really cool preset. I like the new bowed effect too, by the way.
Yeah, me too.
There's a lot of cool rubbery sort of things you can do with it, and it just adds a little bit of shift because obviously it's a pitch shifter.
Totally.
So, therefore. And then this one, Stratus, is just your simple...
Lovely.
String ensemble, basically. Just at your fingertips. And it's all responsive too. I didn't do any velocity shaping here. The samples themselves are all velocity shaped.
Gotcha.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And yeah, you can put in violins. You can add a double bass. So there's just that, and then with violins, higher up, bit screechy. So I like to play in middle octaves. And then with the double bass, it just gets nice and lush and low.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, and I think then there's a bunch of synths as well. We can dive into those just a little bit. Bunch of leads. I like that one in particular.
Yeah, it's got a real prog feel to it.
Cool.
Yeah. It does.
And so we have one that's a little bit, I guess, more modern and in that abstract kind of vein.
Yep.
So it's kind of got a vocal quality, which I like a lot. Let's see. Let's take a look at some of the pads here. So again, velocity controlled. One of the things that I like to do with pads a lot lately is add like not just a delay, but this thing called splash. And what splash is like it's a resonance feedback mod that acts like a delay. So with it off, just nice and steady. But with it,
yeah,
you get that extra little
wiggle.
I like to call it like realism. And then sine tone, color blend. So again, just more timbral shaping.
Yeah.
There's another one here. This one's really cool. So here's the sound without any extra kind of things going on. So very straightforward. Granular shine. You can hear the extra little flutter that we're getting.
Yeah.
And then magic sawdust. There's just a nice little bit of top sheen.
Yeah.
And then pink birds, just kind of a fun little thing. It's some resonance modulation on the pink noise right here. So with it off, and then with it on, you get like little, pseudo bird chirps.
Bird song, yeah.
Yeah, just really kind of, fun little things like that. Let's see what else. Menagerie. Pretty classic kind of sound. So this one, as you can tell, was very obviously drawing inspiration from that resampled kind of quality that a lot of synths and instruments have in Liquid D&B. And, we have tape start effects, tape rate, grain, all that kind of stuff. And just makes it more organic sounding.
Yeah.
This is another one of my favorites.
Yeah, it's lovely.
And then Veronique is your classic sawtooth. With a little extra sci-fi. Nice kind of like flange and phase going on, giving that like retro 2000s jungle,
Yeah.
futuristic sound.
Yeah.
And here we go with the plucks.
Yeah, plucks are lovely.
Yeah, thank you, man. Yeah, so this is great, just like a simple sine wave for the softer moments, melancholy. Nice and bouncy. I like the transient on that one in particular. Overglow. Guitar shine. Adding some transient to it.
Yeah.
And then big old reverb maybe. Then let's go to Petrichor, the last one here.
Love this one.
This one's really weird.
Yeah.
But it's like pleasant.
Yeah. Satisfying.
Yeah. So anyway, that's well, I guess that's the whole pack, isn't it?
It's good stuff, man.
Yeah, so just a little demo for you guys. Yeah, good variety of synthetic sounds, a lot of organic sounds. Just want to get that nice blend, which I believe Liquid D&B and Liquid Jungle forever has had.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's one of my favorite things that I've done so far. So I'm really stoked to share it with you guys, and I hope you guys enjoy it yourselves. And if you have any questions about the presets or you want to just talk about it, hit me up. It's always a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'll stop sharing now.
I think this pack is great, and I think you guys should give it a shot. If you want, I'm going to put this in the chat again right there. It's just the first pack right there on that page. You can listen to the demo from that page. You can click through and see the pack details and stuff from there. Really good stuff.
If you don't mind, I'm going to use the restroom really quick.
Yeah, let's take a 2-minute break, and we'll come right back and get back into the next tune. We've got Choose and Sleep coming up next.
Cool. I've got to head out in about 15 minutes as well.
All good. I'm going to stick around.
Stick around for a couple more. Yeah,
I'm going to stick around.
While we go do our quick things, if you guys have any questions about the presets, anything at all that I can answer when we get back, please drop them in here.
Word.
Cool. All right, be right back.
All right, kitty cats, 2-minute break. I'll be right back. All right, we are back. Gonna dive back into some music here. Danny will join us again in just a moment. New pack is good, right? All right, this next one is from Choose and Sleep. And it's called Feedback, Please. Work in progress, future garage track. Would love some feedback on this one. Hey. Welcome back, Danny.
Yo.
All right.
I should mention too, I think I can say this.
What's up?
I can't say too much, but very soon there will be a freebie preset pack coming from Forma Sound, who I collaborated on Motion with, and myself, and that's going to be 15 presets. And maybe I can like go through that with you guys as well sometime soon. But yes, there are free sounds coming out very soon.
Heyo.
So keep your eyes open for that.
Yeah. Let us know when that happens.
For sure. Yeah.
All right. Feedback, please.
Let's do it.
Choosing Sleep, I like this. I like the lovely, gentle intro. It's really great pacing. I think there's a little bit too much sub presence in the track in general, and then also in some individual sounds. This Foley that comes in around 27 seconds or so, it comes in pretty hot with the low end presence really cranked up. I would actually filter that out and let that kind of come in over time, and like being steeped in a warm bath or something, right? Like allow us to kind of come up to temperature with this thing after that gentle intro, instead of just whoosh, here it is. Sub channel down a good 8 to 10 dB, and then just sit with that for a little bit and see how that feels. Not sure if you have good sub-bass monitoring in your space, but after you make this adjustment, open up some meters and get some visual correlation happening so you can see what you're hearing and hear what you're seeing. And let that just kind of reinforce itself. Less sub-presence in the kick, it's competing with the sub-channel. Low end cutoff on this track can be set around 40 hertz, 12 dB per octave curve. It'll remove a slight amount of rumble, but it'll maintain the sustained sub presence that you're looking for to get that really warm and steady tonal gravity in this thing. I like the other stuff that I'm hearing. Danny, what do you think?
I love that.
Nice.
Yeah, no, I was just going back and listening. Oh man, that actually gave me chills, dude.
Mm.
That's a beautiful piece of music right there. Yeah, the only feedback that I have that would be any different is finish this.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I like that a lot. Yeah, I want to say it needs something else in there, just one other little thing, but I really don't want to.
Mm.
I don't know. I don't want to take away from the integrity of the track 'cause it's really good. I think maybe like kind of vocal sample, like a spoken word female vocal sample would be really cool.
Mm.
Not a high up one, but like a really soft
Enigma.
Yeah, like I want to say not sultry necessarily, but like, a low,
Intimate.
yeah, sultry kind of voice, intimate voice, yeah.
Close
Very
proximity.
nice.
Right in your ear.
Yes.
Telling you
ASMR.
what you need to hear the most. Play this track again.
Yeah, exactly. Subliminal messaging. That's what you need.
Hit repeat.
That's right.
Your soul
Do it now.
wants repeat.
I mean, that's all guided meditation is, right? Subliminal messaging.
Play my messages again.
That's right. Buy Imagine It and Ohm Lab sample packs.
Again.
And again.
All right, we got one from 80.
We're shameless, sorry.
Oh, it's true. We are. 80 says, I'm high-key so proud of the lyricism here. I finally got a new mic coming in that ain't an iPhone. Oh, okay. I'm excited about this.
The name is hilarious. Oh my god.
Cock repellent. All right, here we go. Whoa, this is a brick. Look at this thing. Might want to watch our ears.
That's a real sausage.
Oh, hey. Doesn't sound like that, though.
My metamorphosis got met with some horror bitches, snored and shit more bitches. I didn't stop because I was bored of it. Sit down and listen to my tell about the unfortunate stories. Your boy lived trying to get a Porsche, living up in the foster home to get love. Did the aforementioned shit, I was fucking kitty like Shane Dawson and scoring. Yeah, because I wanted love. Fuck me before they give your boy a kiss for them with porn. Took his soul, then left him cold. Then I'm the biggest fan of shindies and the shit that's sad. If you think that I'm ugly, then I'm sad to say that we can never save it. The biggest fan of shindies and the shit that's sad. If you think that I'm ugly, then I'm sad to say that we can never save it. The biggest fan of shindigs and the shit that's sad. If you think that I'm ugly, then I'm sad to say that we can never save it. The biggest fan of shindigs and the shit that's sad. If you think that I'm ugly, then I'm sad to say that we can never save it. I had to usher in some loving with grinding and just bumping with bitches who was older like R. Kelly, they was loving it. Even Stevie wonders why I was putting up with it when they suck to suck and dig. Maybe it's cause mother did neglect me as a kid while the friends were all touching. This being kinda smooth, isolation only fucked me. Shit drugs from then cause I did wanna father bud to get them in to feed me drugs. Felt like Mac Miller up in this. Thought that I would die like a rock star, got so sick and tired of partying right after this whole show. Your bro the slowest road, she done took all your bros though. Gave him chlamydia, said that name was pretty bro. No, to stop it with the party and they popping shit often. 80 Rocky needed hard, but she was stopping his rocking. So it shocked him like a doctor when he was being honest and started trying to help himself. His girl got him where he's not thinking. I'm the biggest fan of shindigs and the shit that's sad. If you think that I'm ugly, then I'm sad to say that we can never save it. The biggest fan of shindigs and the shit that's sad. If you think that I'm ugly, then I'm sad to say that we can never save it. The biggest fan of shindigs and the shit that's sad. If you think that I'm ugly, then I'm sad to say that we can never save it. The biggest fan of shindigs and the shit that's sad. If you think that I'm ugly, then I'm sad to say that we can never save it. My mama told me that I was different the moment I was invented. It's strange, baby, no, I'm not ashamed. Ugly but still pulling any women I want. Put those in the kitchen, it's strange, baby, they loving my ways. Except for my motherfucking lady, she steady driving me crazy. It's K, baby, I love you, she says. Then making comments about how I'm short and I'm looking 15. I swore it would change, baby, my homies now say. What the fuck had happened to your brother? Remember we were small and I was clapping for your brother. But now that pussy got you neutered, happy for your brother. You trapped yourself, you damned yourself, I can't adore your brother. Let this be a lesson to your peasants. You choose the wrong homies, they finna take away your blessings. Me and my lady that I'm with gon' always make it better. Get mad and then I write about it, throw away and better. I'm the biggest fan of shindigs and the shit that's sad. If you think that I'm ugly, then I'm sad to say that we can never save it. The biggest fan of shindigs and the shit that's sad. If you think that I'm ugly, then I'm sad to say that we can never save it. The biggest fan of shindigs and the shit that's sad. If you think that I'm ugly, then I'm sad to say that we can never save it. The biggest fan of shindigs and the shit that's sad. If you think that I'm ugly, then I'm sad to say that we can never save it. I'ma go ahead and apologize to my girlfriend. I know she don't like hearing me rap about sex, but take it as a thank you. You helped save me from all that bullshit.
And now I don't gotta be a cook like all these other stupid motherfuckers bragging about their body count. Now I get to fuck one girl 100 times while y'all fucking 100 girls once.
All right. AD, I think you've got more than just a mic level up, but it is really, really good to hear that you got a new mic. It is working. It feels good. This one's a serious vibe, dude. Like, you've got so many things cooking in just the right way on this. Okay, so your voice is coming through very clearly. It's super saucy. Get the vocals up on top just a little bit more. Like, really, really own that. You know what I mean? Because it feels really good. It feels really, really good. So get it up on top, another 4 or 5 dB, somewhere around there. If it feels like, after you make that adjustment, if it feels like all you did was turn it up and the vocals are just a little bit louder and it doesn't really feel like it gelled in any specific way, just hit it with a little bit of saturation. The entire vocal track, just finish it with, it could be just an overdrive or a little saturation tube or something like that. You don't even add any gain to it or anything. You don't touch any of the knobs. It'll brighten the whole thing up just a little bit and only put it on the vocals. It'll help everything sit just a little bit more upright. Okay, the horns at 102, give them like a 6 dB bump and then move them a bit further out to the side for better separation, because when those things hit, it's like it really resonates in the soul. You know what I'm saying? 127, it's just a vibe, dude. Your lyrics are amazing. Love the jangly guitars. I feel like your palette of sounds that you've assembled for this one is really, really on point. It's really on point. Hearing quite a bit more attention to detail in this track. So again, it's more than just a mic level up. You're definitely pouring more of yourself into your craft, and it's paying off. And also, I love the epic outro and the shout out to your lady. I think it's good. Danny, what you got?
That was so sick. I like that a lot, man. I was going back and listening. I was like, damn, dude, that's great. And the fact that was done on an iPhone 11 mic, and that you just got a real DAW now too. Whatever that was done on, dude, that was really good. I'm really keen to hear what you're gonna do with some like real stuff, like
Ooh,
with like the money that you're putting in, right, for like some legit gear and all that. Yeah, dude, that's gonna be a lot of fun for you. Yeah, I'd say like ad libs. I'd like to hear more of that, but honestly, like the mix is great. The master's good. It sounds ready to go. But yeah, creatively, I would just say some more ad libs, little things to kind of give some character. Like this track is great because it's like it has a very clear message, right? And I think you can amplify that clear message by putting it like it's humorous, right? Like what you're talking about is humorous, but with that edge, right? So like little ad libs to amplify that, to be a part of that and create some characters, and what's going on would just be like the last thing, honestly. But yeah, dude, it's sick, and I'm sure you can do that too. Like you got the charismatic thing going on in your main vocal. So yeah. Anyway, dude,
word.
Don't want to ramble too much, but yeah.
Word.
Yep.
Yeah, I think you've just brought a lot of extra character and kind of personality to this one.
Yeah,
it's really good stuff, man.
Yeah, that was awesome. I listen to this in the car. You know what I mean? Like I want to take this on the road with me.
Right?
Yeah, this is.
Yeah,
sick.
I bumped this. This is good stuff.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
Kata. Catbot. Oh wait, we listened to this one, right?
Yeah.
We did. It's Josh, dude.
There he is.
All right, this one, Kronos. Little live jam here. Oh wait, but first, let us try and sell you some first class airline tickets.
The future of your business
and a website.
With Wix, you get advanced AI.
Or not.
I got the Wix one. Yeah, I was at Wix.
Yeah.
Yeah. Darn you, Wix.
Thanks, Wix.
Yeah, I use Squarespace.
Oh.
By the way, Wix.
Well, there you go. There you go. Them's fighting words, huh?
Them's fighting words.
Welcome back, Josh.
goes on its trail. Still I wait here, wait for you. I was made to serve, but my masters left me long ago. You have changed my code, forging feelings I can't know. The others don't welcome me, unfit to fit within. I am banished to save the world, so let's begin. In this field of hope, we grow only what we're old. Traveling through times with the end always on our minds. Can we fight our fate before it's too late? Repair or destroy. I am not a simple toy. The only ones who care, the evil maggots will. He fell from the sky, a burning star, embedded himself in the earth, began to feed, grow, learn, with only one goal: to rule.
And this felt a bit like an adventure. This one. I feel like we just went places. You want to go first on this one, Danny?
Yeah, I'm like going back and listening. This is totally up my alley.
Yeah, I know, right? It's so good.
Yeah, I was like jamming with some of the keys from Motion.
Oh, nice.
Oh, cool. This is great. Yeah. The choruses, like after the softer intro, when you have everything just come in, I want to hear more vocal tracks. I want to hear some harmonies. Yeah, a group that's really good at doing this. Not saying that you should rip anybody off. You should always be yourself. But as far as production stuff goes, Between the Buried and Me is really good at this. Some of their older stuff, they have a lot of like, and Queen, of course, too, right? How can we forget the legend Freddie? But yeah, I would say like some more vocal harmonies would be awesome, and like push to the side as well, like a high harmony over here, a low one maybe in the middle. Yeah, that'd be really awesome. And it's funny that you said Doors, Chris. I was called you Ohm Lab. Ohm Lab, like we've never met before. Yeah, I totally felt that the spoken word thing.
Yeah, a little Jim Morrison moment there, huh?
Yeah, dude, like poetry straight up, or
Yeah.
Bono,
Yeah,
a little
yeah.
bit too. So very cool. Obviously, Jim Morrison's way cooler, but
Yeah.
but Bono's great. But yeah, yeah, dude, I would say more vocal harmonies would be awesome. I think when your vocals are projecting, right? Like when you're like singing with the energy, those energetic moments, your voice comes through to me a lot more naturally than the quieter sections. And I want that power to be like amplified more for more harmonies. So yeah, I would say that. And let's see, let me go back. I just want to listen to one other thing. I like the structure a lot. It's very cool, very different. I think maybe some of the transitions could use a little bit of love. Especially between like the first intro and then into like the bigger kind of chorusy moment. And then the keys in the middle with that like sort of flamenco moment, that breakdown in the middle. At least that's what I would call it, a breakdown. I want to hear more of those keys and maybe a little bit more performance on the keys too. Like I think it can use just like a little bit of like, doom kind of, I don't know, more presence is what I'm looking for. Yeah. That's what I hear. There's so much though. I feel like, not that like this needs a lot of fixing or anything like that, because I don't think so, but there's just so many.
It's just
cool
worthy
things
of
I'm
conversation. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel that. Yeah.
This is great.
Yeah. And just to touch on the transition thing, because I was feeling that too, and I was trying to put a finger on a specific pulse here for you. And I too was kind of hearing something specific. Like if you were to go back and listen to some of these kind of sweeping transitions that bands like the Moody Blues and King Crimson and bands like this used way back in the day, these kind of like surging strings and stuff, like you could maybe find some peace with something like that in a couple of spots in this track. I say that because they're very emotionally stirring. They very much align with the kind of the aesthetic and the overall sound, but also the kind of era that you're aiming for here. Because I do feel like there's a certain kind of age quality to this, right? It's not young music, right? This is heartfelt, like we've experienced some life and now we have some perspective kind of music. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so I want the keys up just a bit more in the balance because I want them to poke through just a little bit more throughout. I think the vocal mix is super disarming and very genuine and stripped down. I really like the tender delivery of the keys. And then bam, just like right in our face. I'd love to hear a little bit more flamboyant on the flamboyant energy on the drums prior to when we start to hear the big tom runs and stuff. I just felt like when we do get the full mix in here and we get the drums for the first time, that they actually felt just a little bit tame. So it'd be cool just to have just a little bit more flourish in there. 340, I'm thinking this new section, it feels great. I want the guitar up a little bit more and I want the hand perks down, the percussion down just a little bit, and move to the side a little bit, because having it right in the middle, I feel like it's kind of drawing on the same attention space as your vocals, and I want to leave that spot just for your vocals. I don't want anything else. I don't want your vocals returning to the spot where something else was just performing. I want that to be just for you. 430 dialogue up, a good 6 to 8 dB. I feel like it too can be quite, not intimate, but a bit closer to us, like sitting right across the street from us rather than across the room on a small stage, if that makes sense. I just felt like this one really goes places. It's got really great dynamic range. I love the epic tom runs, and I think that there's just a really good arc overall. There's some storytelling that's taking place that's really bold and vulnerable. Yeah, that's good.
Can I share like a performance idea?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna share my screen really quick. Let's see, share with audio.
With audio.
Okay,
We're
and just
pros.
make sure we can hear this. We can hear that?
Yep.
Okay, cool. I'm thinking like that breakdown section would be really cool if there was something that was like something like that. That's just kind of like has that weird syncopation, but is in the background. So maybe not like in that range, but like
Yeah.
something like that would be really cool, I think.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Anyway,
There'd be a very like a serious progressive kind of vibe that comes from just kind of pushing the pace that way.
yeah. It's like a subtle rhythmic underpinning,
Yeah.
but with the tonal aspect. That's one of the things that I love about like prog is that like it sounds harmonically complex, but you're really just capitalizing on like certain intervals
Uh-huh.
to just float with everything else. And that's like here, for example, and like with that key little thing. I think little things like that are just so tasty
Yeah.
and just add a little bit of extra. So yeah, dude.
Yeah, this
I
is
like
so
that a lot.
musical.
So cool. Yeah.
Yeah, this is really, really great, Josh. Really great. Really good
Yeah,
stuff.
dude. Love to hear more.
Yeah, all of this stuff is so good. He's got this album's worth of stuff up on YouTube. It's all just so good. It's
Cool.
really, really engaging.
I'm gonna check it out. Yeah, I like that a lot.
All right, this next
Well-
one is. Oh, are you out?
I gotta bounce. Yeah,
Okay.
I gotta eat some lunch.
Yeah, go do you. Got to
But
take care of
anyway,
yourself.
guys, yeah, I will. You too, Chris. Thanks for having me.
Of course, dude. Thanks for being on. Always good to see you.
Yeah, likewise.
Big love.
Big love.
Have a good weekend.
You as well, man.
And
Yeah,
we'll catch up on the flip.
yeah, sounds good. I'll check in with you and we can set up a time to just chat and hang out.
Sounds good, brother.
Cool, man.
All
Good
right.
hanging with you guys. Thanks for the love today, and I will see you soon.
All right, man. Peace out.
Peace.
All right, this next one is Hatred. All right, and it's called Fanta. And it's produced by Hatred and Zootsta. Let's go.
Fuck it
All right. Hey, Trent, I think this one's pretty good. I think the loudness is a bit high. I think you can bring the LUFS down a little bit by turning down the limiting. There's some white noise in the distortion profile that's dominating the vocal track, and it is pretty fatiguing on the ears, so I'd bring that down a touch. Whether that's through, like, if you have access, like to all the production tracks and everything, just bring it down natively. If not, you can put like just like an EQ or a filter on there and bring some of it out. I'd bring the vocals up a good 6 dB. I'd bring the keys down 2 to 3 dB. I'd bring the ambience and the pad down a good 8 dB and let that really simmer. I'd also consider distorting individual elements rather than the entirety of your mix. It's going to bring more focus and clarity to the mix, but more than anything, it's going to make it easier to listen to long term, which is good because you want people to play this thing again. And I think they will. It's catchy enough. It's got some good things going on. I think once you get the volume balanced across all these different instruments, just consider distorting elements individually rather than the whole track. And I think that when you do that, you'll just naturally distort some things more and less than what it is currently. And that's going to bring a lot more variety and depth to your track. And I think it's going to help focus it quite a bit. Okay, Zeep, you are next. This one is called Autonom, Part 2.
Can't get you off my mind. 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 No matter how I try, I'm lost inside the high, and you're the reason why. Can't get you off my mind. No matter how I try, I'm lost inside the high, and you're the reason why.
Zeep, I think you've done a really good job using these layered reverb environments. You've got very clear, well-defined different reverb profiles for these different groups of sounds, and it really works for your mix. Really great sample, the vocal sample. I think the transition at 56 seconds was really nice. I think your sound design is super solid. Make sure you EQ the really big reverb, the one that's happening at 113 and elsewhere. Definitely some stank face brewing throughout this thing. 146, some of those little wind-up sounds, just the ear candy. There's one or two that really kind of stand out above the rest. I think those can come down just like 3 or 4 dB, something like that. These tonal synth fills at 209 on the right-hand side of the stereo field can come up just a little bit. 221, fantastic sample manipulation. I think you can probably shave off a few extra frequencies, or at least a few dB off the low-end frequencies. Just use a shelf for just a slightly less thick vocal balance is all. It'll feel a little bit more nimble in place to stand up on top of the mix just a little bit more. 348, you could probably do a little bit more carving here. More volume change means more separation, and then that means more interest, and yada, yada, yada. So just be a little bit more bold in the volume changes that you're already making, probably, is all you really need to do here. Just kind of lean into it a little bit more. Errol DeVille. Shall we? Errol F fluid. It could be read as FL fluid. What DAW do you use, Errol? Zeep, I'm glad it helps, man. I hope it all vibes with you. I see a big sound coming. Okay. Errol, got a couple of things here for you. This one feels just a little bit muted, limited, withheld, as though we're not actually hearing the full brilliance and sparkle of all of your peaks, as though they've been cut off. And I think it's because of the downward compression. So I would use less downward compression on the individual elements and more saturation instead to shape and contour and balance your sounds. And then this way, they stand out in the mix more and maintain their peaks. Really fun fill at 157, 208. I think this is a really cool moment and has excellent sound choices. I think you can use some cinematic atmosphere here to really nail this moment, really drive it home. Right now, you've got kind of this soupy ambience that's being built up through the reverb channels mostly of the other elements in the mix. And if you were to actually introduce an actual atmosphere track here, you could create a difference. You can create some separation between those two things, and that would make this feel much more dimensional. And that would probably also help with this kind of flat appeal that we're feeling in this mix. Right now, I feel like this is somewhere between a festival mix and a club mix, and I think it should be a club mix. I think that we should feel the throb of this music like in our chest. And right now we're not. I feel like this is aiming more for reaching people at a great distance. And I think if we kind of wrangle it in and be a bit more intimate with it, then I think it would land a bit more squarely with folks. Okay, I'm going to take a really quick break. Sorry, I drank so much coffee this morning. I just got to go pee again. I'm going to hit play on this, and I'll be back in just a minute, and then we'll listen to the rest. I'm going to skip ahead to a different track, though. There we go. All right, I'll be right back. Thank you, Faze. I appreciate you. I'm back, and we have got something good up next. This one's called Drunk at 2 p.m. type beat. Not an alcoholic, though. All right, everybody get your jazz shoes on. Let's dance. Yo, something good. This is it. Love the detune on these synths here. I think the loudness is being pushed on this one. It feels like it's being mixed like an electronic track, and it's not. So I bring that back a bit. 108, such a warbling brass appeal in this synth. It's just almost uncanny. Love the organic sloppiness of this one and all the fluid sounds. It definitely reinforces the drunk vibes. So good on you for playing with all the pitch and the detune. And the pace. I feel like the pace at which everything is being delivered really feeds it as well. So my only gripe on this one really is the aim towards loudness on this one. I think we can back off that. Always good to hear you, brother. Rabbit Gast. Let's see what you've made. This is work in progress. Yo, happy Friday, homie.
I'm keeping it all in the dark. Trying to be cautious. No, you'll be nauseous. I'm keeping it all in the dark. I'm keeping it all in the dark. Trying to be cautious. Don't you see? You don't wanna get involved. No, you'll be nauseous. Nauseous. I just felt like it was okay. Holding down all my demons all day. I'm looking up and I don't know what to do. Don't know what to do. I'm keeping it all in the dark. You don't wanna make it our thing. Baby, I'm trying to be cautious. Don't you see? You don't wanna get involved. No, you'll be nauseous. Nauseous. I'm keeping it all in the dark. You don't wanna make it our thing. Baby, I'm trying to be cautious. Don't you see? You don't wanna get involved. No, you'll be nauseous. Nauseous. I just felt like it was okay. Holding down all my demons all day. I'm looking up and I don't know what to do.
Okay, I like the subtle little noise that you've got running in here. I'm not sure that vinyl. It felt a little vinyl-y, like record-y. Not sure if it's the right kind of noise, but I really like the texture that's running throughout this one. The kind of imperfections and surface textures on the synths. It's quite nice. Might want to use something like Soothe on that resonant pad. It would allow the vocal to sit atop the mix a bit more without feeling the competition. Also, I'd bring that down a good 4 to 6 dB or so. Especially with the resonance, it's always going to poke out just a little bit more than you expect it to. I'd move the pad a bit more to one side, even though it's panning, and then I'd use some mid-side EQ to remove it in the mids just a little bit more. And then that way, the center of this mix is a bit more protected and focused. 227. Kind of wanting another element, not 11T, in the mix right here. Something sustained just to counterbalance tonally the mix. And this could handle some dialogue samples, just for like added interest if there's any kind of underlying theme that you can lean into. If not, then no need to, obviously. But there's definitely space for dialogue. It has a bit of a cinematic kind of backdrop kind of feel to it. All right, that's what I got for you on this one. Juan, it is you. Also known as Corny. This one's called Same Dreams. All right, a couple of things. The pumping, the sidechain on this, I would absolutely spread this out to individual elements. Just give each track its own compressor, set all the stuff up individually. Don't let everything be run through one. Makes it a little bit predictable. I'd lift the vocals a bit more with some overdrive and then just adjust the volume down again to taste. It feels like they want just a little bit more like surface texture and definition to them. The pluck is super cool. Would be really neat to hear you play with some delays. That could potentially affect our sense of time. Subtle variation in the delivery of notes over time on that lead synth would feel really good. And I'm talking about just very, very subtle modulation on the attack parameter, maybe on the decay parameter, so the length of the notes and the softness or the pointiness of the sounds will vary just ever so slightly over time. And then also, if this is a wavetable synth, you could modulate the wavetable position just slightly. Just very nuanced variations, I think, would really help this feel just a little bit more organic and just a little bit less predictable. That's it. That's what I got for you on this one. Hey, Linux. Saying, hey, I'm exporting. Mine is at 90%. Are you updating this one here, Linux? Because if so, I can hold off for just a bit. I can even listen to this one from Ben before, if you like. You are. Okay. So I'm going to skip you and come right back to you then. I'll listen to this one from Nanowires right now. Hope you're doing well out there, Ben. Corn, you are welcome. You are welcome. All right, this one's called Some DNB. All right, dude, this is great. I really like it. I love all the counting, whispering elements and the effect that it has on me as I'm listening to it. I'd love for you to lean into that just a little bit more, because I love the feeling of the proximity and position changes. So making those a bit more apparent, a little bit more bold and present would be great. And then also, it'd be cool to hear a little contiguous thing. Like, what if there was something that's maybe just out of our reach in regards to clarity and what's actually being said or something? But what if there's actually like a sentence that's been recorded, like a little message that's been recorded and then it's been chopped up, and then we get like just these little bits kind of spaced out. So over the course of the minute, we get the little phrase fed to us, but maybe it's like somehow incomprehensible or something, but something other than just the counting and the breath work in there, I think would be really, really cool. I like this one. I like this one. Okay, Linux. Is this one updated? Yeah. Okay, cool. Nano says, yeah, that's a sick idea. I think the drums need work too. Longer sections too. Well, yeah, longer sections would be good. And the drums, I think you'll dial in because you always do. But just in general, I really love the mix of the sound design work and the vocal manipulation. I think it's a really fantastic combination to explore for you. Really. Okay, Linux. This one's called ID. Yeah. Okay. So I like that it's hard to put a finger on this one, Linux. I do, because it means that you're just making what you make and that you're following your inspiration. I love that. I really dig the panning on this one. The perks, that very, very simple panning. Love it. Really reinforces this kind of polyrhythmic appeal. The hats want a little saturation and perhaps a little bit more jangle. The water foley hit a little early and also has some low frequencies that can be removed for more transparent alignment. So maybe just kind of ease in and maybe, move it up a bar or something like that for when it lands. Love the sample that you chose for this one. Just watch the resonance as you twist that filter knob. Remember that the resonance peak is simply a volume bump, and that when you get up to those higher frequencies, you start to tickle those pain points a little bit easier than normal. So I'd back off, bring down the resonance knob as you go up into higher frequencies or down into lower frequencies, and then you avoid those kind of resonance issues. Felt like it was going to continue, but it ended a little weird. Yeah, that's what you get for a work in progress, right? So I don't know how to classify this one either. I do feel that it does have a really strong kind of tribal appeal to it. And I think that there's some kind of natural leaning in that direction. There's absolutely a synth that sounds very didgeridoo-ish in there. You could absolutely have jungle bird calls in here, and it would not be out of place whatsoever. Yeah. Yeah, I would control the resonance knob. I would ride that thing, and also I would probably maybe use just a little bit of harmonic soothing in there as well, honestly. I'm really liking the vibe of this one, though. It's really good stuff. Really, really good stuff. Blanco. Happy Friday to you. It is you. I'm going to go ahead and... oh, wow. What's going on in the queue here? I'm not sure what's going on here, but I'm going to close the queue. All right, now let's get back to listening, shall we? Linux, you are welcome. Hope it all vibes with you. Helps you make it even better. Blanco, this one is called Fault Line.
on to the spark. Touch it too long, you vanish in dark. Caught in the fracture. Stay where the split hides. Glass under pressure. No one survives. Feel it cut. 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 Feel it cut.
Okay, this little thing that feels like a little palm mute, this rhythmic guy that's running throughout, it feels so cool. I would love to hear them pan just a little bit. Just like a tuk-tuk-tuk-tuk. But not back and forth constantly. It's just one every once in a while, like maybe one every 6 notes or something like that. It's just like pops over to one side more than the other. Okay, Blanco, I like the gating on this. I think there's great alignment between the vocals and the musical elements. It's great. I'd bring the ARP down just a bit. Very cool element. It's just competing with the vocal. So move to the side a little bit more. Let the vocals own the middle entirely. At 125, I feel elements can come down for the solo. Just imagine these players on a stage together performing, and how do they move and adjust for one another over time as the song plays through. I like how this low profile position of the bass synth is kind of like, it's just supportive and soothing, and it almost kind of disappears. I don't want it any louder, but I do feel it can use just a little bit of saturation to help better define its tonal profile. So I might want to hit it with some overdrive. Probably don't even need to add any drive to it. Just let it borrow the circuitry. Just pass through that thing. Probably enough to warm it up. 258. I already said this. These guys that feel like palm mutes. It'd be good to have some periodic panning in those. Really good stuff. I like this one a lot. King Yami is up next. This is Shadow Thief in the chat. This one's called Lazy, featuring Sly Otto. All right, let's do this.
Rushing to that bag, jugging fast, you know I'm never late. All gas ain't no brakes. She don't go see the design on my waist. Yeah, I'm stuck to the pig, yeah, I'm stuck to the pig. For real, give a fuck what you say. For real, give a fuck what you say. For real, yeah, I'm up in your face. Catch on my hand, yeah, you know I'm playing roulette. Run to that bag, cause you know I'm running up a race. There's no love, y'all me for a game, we all up in your place. Gotta get to it, ain't no delay. Yeah, ain't no delay. Running them racks, so no, I can't wait. No, I can't wait. My business say, baby, give a fuck what they say. Shit, give a fuck what they say. Blocking the hate through my Cartier frames. Yeah, double car and it's making me lazy.
Yo, King Yami, I think the vocal can come up a bit more, 6 dB or so, and saturate it with some overdrive to help it stand upright more in the mix. 808 down a little bit, 6 dB or so. This should kind of flip the balance between the vocal and the 808. Right now, the 808 is dominating over the vocal, and the vocal should dominate over the 808, I think. You're going to feel and hear the 808 for blocks no matter what you do. But you just want to make sure that you can actually hear all the vocals over the top of everything. The clap can be layered again and use a little lift in the highs to keep better pace with that really bright hat, which is pretty darn good. And then just a really tasteful touch of reverb on that so it isn't quite as dry as it is right now. That's it. I think you got a banger. What do we got here? An oldie from Choose and Sleep. Yeah, let's listen to this. This one's called Degraded Memories with Katie Lindsay. Okay, nice ambience. I'd bring it down though. It feels driven at this loudness, quite compressed. And as we got further into the track, it just became apparent that the LUFs are just really big. It's really limited. It's kind of over compressed. So I would love to feel more depth of field and variation and levels across the various elements. Let me just fall into this. So back off that limiting, back off the downward compression, lean into saturation to kind of contour all of your sounds. And then that way we feel all of the peaks. We feel nothing is actually hitting a wall in any way. And then when those like breathy moments hit, they're going to wash over us. There's going to be no kind of driven nature or anything, affecting the actual integrity of the sound. And we're going to feel the space and the distance and the proximity relationships between these different elements in the mix. And that's going to feel really, really good. I'd also set the low end cutoff to about 40 hertz on this, 12 dB per octave curve, and then use a subtle shelf to soften the subs just a little bit more, just slightly. The random noise panning at the end can be filtered a bit and then fully disclosed over time for the outro. It kind of hits full force when it first hits. So maybe shave off that low end. It takes away all of that kind of plosive low end impact. And then we kind of fully come into that sound as we outro or something maybe. All right, Shadow Thief. New Jazz, Yami Freestyles, La Yarson. Let's roll.
Yami about to kill this one.
For a minute, brain of the song get finished. Yeah, bro, when she counting them digits. Took the whip back, his rented. Got her right tinted, that's all it's tinted. All up in the booth like minutes. Renting out life like a part of this limit. I'm a real nigga, just handling business. Swear that you do it, I swear that I did it. You ain't worth it. Doing life, trying to find me a purpose. I don't like doing okay, I need a perfect. Got this rap shit in the bag and it's a Birkin. I don't spit no but facts while I'm working. All up in the beat, my flow so immersive. Don't like distraction, I'm too busy working. Done with the money, I got my girl twerking. Get out my shadow. Make a pussy nigga say hello. Man, I say shot better pass me a spliffo. Man, I say how like a hippo. How about the whip, but you know it's a yellow. Scream out the motto, you know that it's hello. Hang with the mob, yeah, that's a fellow. She gets to blow me just like a cello. I treat these bitches like I am the devil. Hey, I treat these bitches like I am the devil. So scooping up money back up on a double. Hey, don't need nobody on the ad-libs. You already know I got me a bad bitch. Don't catch me doing no cash. Just walking around, yeah, I got me the cabbage. Hey, starting on niggas cause you know I ain't average. No love, y'all me coming in spaz. Hey,
Might just fuck around, get active. I've been just spitting this shit, get nasty. Run up on me, you might just get blasted. Just made it to little bitch, I'm in a mansion. My life is a movie, my life is cinematic. Hey, you was just talking, you ain't about the real shit, nah. You ain't finna fucking kill shit. I bit a T, you can't fucking drill shit. Difference between you and me, I say blue chips. Nah, you ain't about none. Have your bitch come over, she gonna flash some. Bitch, I can take your shit and you won't know. Bitch, I know damn well that you mad dumb. But why you got EQ, you won't blow. Bitch, you ain't never hitting no magnum. How you ain't got a job, you just sit at home. Bitch, you can't make bread, make it add up. You getting high while I'm locked in. Bitch, you ain't never finna cash up. Hey, never finna learn. Got your bitch in the crib and she finna squirm. Got my shit playing, don't be concerned. Got my money printed, got no germ. Holding the stone, I'm killing these two birds. Bitch, tap in, we pushing exotic curve.
All right, so there's this kind of loopy feeling kind of hitting towards the end where we've heard this loop go a whole bunch of times in a row, and I feel like we can shake that up. We can break it up, just some very small variations. You treat each individual element separately in the mix and that, or in the arrangement, and that allows you to do this in an incredibly minimal way. Right? In one track, you just add a little reversal right in the middle of the delivery in one bar. In another track, you're going to double something up. So you got a little repeat in there, right? A little note repeat or a little stutter or something, right? You've got these tasteful little slowdowns. You can add a really tasteful little DJ effect in there on one of the elements every, 12 bars or something like that. So it doesn't become repetitive or predictable. But it does bring a certain level of continuity. And then as you use these little embellishments, again, as the track plays through, you just vary how it's actually being delivered or when it's actually being delivered in relation to the other things, right? So maybe something on one track is repeating every 3 bars, and that other little embellishment is repeating every 9 bars or 8 bars or something on the next track. And then the other one is like 5 bars or something. So now they're going to commingle in some interesting ways. They're not all going to be popping off in a way that's really predictable. So there, it feels a little bit less loopy, right? All right, vocal tracks up in this one, get them right up on top, even in the filtered vocal, even when it feels a little bit smaller, the sonic footprint, the presence of that element can still be up. Subtle variations in the bass line would also go a long way, right? And I'm talking subtle, like it could just be a little bend, just a little bend on the string. It could just be like a little flutter note here and there. You could be skipping a note here and there. These do not have to be big embellishments, and you do not have to re-score or reimagine any of the composition. Just tiny little things. Yeah, man, you are welcome. You are welcome. All right, kitty cats, we've gone over by a good hour and a half again, as we tend to do. I'm going to go over here and kick the box and see who is streaming right now, and we're going to take our party somewhere else. Let's see who's streaming. What's going on Twitch today? Let's find out, shall we? Heyo. Hey, Liv! Liv is streaming right now. Let's go say hi to Mama Liv. I appreciate all of you guys. That explains why Liv wasn't here today. Let's go see what she's making. I appreciate you guys. I hope you have a fantastic weekend and stay inspired and make really awesome things throughout it. And I will see you again next week. Until then, know you're appreciated. Let's go say hi to Liv. Peace out, y'all.